All right, and welcome in to another episode of the company. Anarchy has broken loose. Pain is the medicine. Rain is going to fall on your head. The storm's coming. Are you ready?
No.
Nah.
Well, no. Take that back, man. I just restocked on bread and milk yesterday, so I'm straight.
All right.
Syrup sandwiches on.
I got a question.
Go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
What is the milk for?
Yeah, what is it for?
You know what it's for, man? Reasons.
No.
I don't even drink milk.
No, that's it. That's it, man. It's reasons.
You dip the bread and milk and make you fuller, get you through the night.
You know, I think that's the only way I can think of, like, why it's almost a necessity. Because it's like people like, let's be honest here. Like, to say that you went out to the store to buy bread and milk when this stuff has been in the store forever. What is in your house normally? Like all of a sudden,
water.
Yo, dead ass. I remember being young. You know, you go to people's houses, you open the fridge, dog. It ain't as much food as you think gonna be in the fridges. I'll be dead.
All right,
because I'll be like, man, you sure enough got them J's, but your fridge is a ghost town.
So why you wait until DEFCON 4 to be like, I need this milk real quick?
Well, I think it's like
nah, it's dumb.
Yo, we've been drinking Kool-Aid and beer and soda all month.
Man, I was
now
thinking
the storm coming.
My thing is, you still can drink the soda.
Now I need water. It's like you've been literally drinking.
I can see the water.
You've been drinking a diet Coke every day, but all of a sudden it's like, ooh, I need water for nourishment.
Water now.
But I mean, you can survive off the Diet Coke. It just ain't good, but you could.
You're not gonna survive off a Diet Coke. You will die in 5 days.
Nah, there's people who don't drink water that long. Bro.
I was about to say,
come on, bro.
Now, there's water in there's water content.
In it.
No,
there's water in fruit. There's water in soup.
No,
yeah,
no.
There's water content.
Yeah.
Don't give these people ammo.
It's not ammo. It's truth.
There's water with that high fructose corn syrup.
There's no high fructose corn syrup. It's like aspartame.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that. I forgot. We talking about Diet Coke. Yeah. My bad.
Yeah.
If you try to survive off of Diet Coke, you will surely die. There is no doubt in my mind.
I mean, but we all
there's
are.
water in glue, and I'm pretty sure you'll die if you drink glue.
There's other corrosive agents.
How many people do you know that ate glue sticks when you were a kid and they still?
I
know people that used to sniff rubber cement in class, and you can't even have rubber cement in school now.
Oh yeah, man, you can't. We can't.
I remember they used to make it up into little balls and stuff.
Yeah, you can't bring that stuff around.
Now there are some things that I do blame our generation on. That's the no glue in the classroom and no smelly markers. We were abusing certain powers.
We were huffing.
I think we all smelled the markers and didn't know why we like smelling them.
We smelled them. We smelled them.
That was the gateway drug.
Yeah, we smelled them. Some kids, they smelled them shits. It's like they had markers up their nose smelling them. But anyway, the storm's coming.
Hurricane Florence.
Hurricane Florence is headed to the East Coast, and it's a Category 4 now.
Dude, that hurricane went from Category 3 to 4 in like 3 hours.
Yeah, it didn't even have time to report 3. It just most news outlets said 2 to 4.
Yeah, the weatherman was immediately wrong. Yes, it's a Category. Okay. It's a 4 now. And now they're like, now it can go up to a 5. It's possible.
Yep.
So everybody's panicking. They've closed down schools here where we are for evacuation purposes. People who are being evacuated from other areas that come here.
Oh man, we need to talk about that.
And for anybody who doesn't know or doesn't remember, Richard's in Raleigh.
Yeah,
and we're in Columbia, South Carolina.
And for all intents and purposes, it's like the eye of the storm is literally like, I don't know, like if you could put your finger on the screen, like the top section of your finger between that and the eye of the storm in the center of Raleigh is pretty much with the path of the storm. So it's coming straight for Raleigh, North Carolina. So it's funny to hear that y'all are getting out of school and whatnot, or then they're canceling classes, because up here I know they are intending to do that, but there's nowhere nearly the level of panic, like at all. Like I haven't heard anything about lane reversals. I've heard nothing about. At least I haven't heard. Let me clarify that statement. But it's weird because like I'm looking around and y'all are saying like, oh, they're closing schools for the week, and I'm like, I mean, as far as I know, I think people going to school tomorrow, maybe not Wednesday.
Nah, the hourly reversal starts in the morning.
Yeah, it starts in the morning.
Yep. And the closing of the rest of our businesses is tomorrow afternoon. So nothing is moving after tomorrow. There will be no driving.
No nothing.
There will be no nothing.
Yeah. I looked at the weather forecast. The most we have is 40% chance of rain all those days.
Hold on. I'm going to look right now. School closes in North Carolina.
I'm just letting you know that. So I was sitting there at the gym. I look up. I said, 40% chance of rain. But these little bastards out of school. All right.
All right. So let's do this. All right. Let's right now. Like, this is literally like the closings and delays right now. The organizations are Atlantic Life Safety, East Carolina University, North Carolina State, and Wayne County Schools. They're closed on, and this is, by the way, for Atlantic Life Safety, severe weather plan for Monday. East Carolina is closed on Wednesday, North Carolina State's closed Thursday. Wayne County Schools are closed on Thursday. Now, let's unpack that for a second, right? Because now remember, the eye, which is the strongest part of a hurricane, is literally like right next door to the center of the city.
Yep.
And there is nothing being reported as far as school closings. Now, y'all are what? 200 miles away south of the storm.
Yeah,
and y'all are literally it's like
we're gonna get wind and heavy thunderstorms that
right.
we get.
Well, you gotta understand. The last few heavy storms that came close to us, we got our asses whooped.
I mean, I'm not. Hey, now,
not last year as much.
Now let's be honest. Now you're right, because Hugo was no joke for South Carolina. Period.
Still remember that, but yeah.
So Hugo was Andrew was the next one that kind of came through in Rec Shop, right?
Nah, that went through Miami. Remember?
That went through Miami. But what was next? What was the next storm?
Floyd? No, not Floyd.
What was it?
Floyd was when I was in high school. I can't keep up with these names.
I swear, man. Like hurricanes need like badass names. Like they need like Iron Maiden 2828 or something like that. Like they need those kind of names because in all honesty, like Floyd, Florence, Hugo. You know, like I'm waiting for like a Hurricane Jasmine, you know?
There was one, I think.
Oh, there was. Oh man. See. We need like
and then
Megatron 2000.
Here we're still shell shocked from the flood.
Yeah, that flood is real.
You know what? I didn't even think about that, because that wasn't even from a hurricane. That was just a really crazy storm that came.
Yeah,
through.
exactly. And it's going to be a really crazy storm when it breezes by us Thursday. So we're panicking. That's what we do.
Yeah.
One thing we do know is that we're going to be in shape to house people that have to leave their areas.
Right.
So
Izzo knows what I'm thinking.
What?
What year is this?
This is 2018.
And who's up for re-election?
Henry McMaster, aka Foghorn Leghorn.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I see. So I mean,
yeah,
like let's not forget, because I mean, like, and I'm not saying that the governor of North Carolina doesn't think that his people are important, but
and Virginia as well, because evidently Trump tweeted that he talked to governor of South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia.
Right. So, you know, I mean, I think that the governors are putting things in place that they best see the need for. But let's be honest, because it was the same kind of thing when Governor Haley was I think one of those storms came through back right at the end of her term, and then it was like, oh, we got to make sure that everybody's taken care of. And it's not saying that I don't think that they think people are important, But it's a striking coincidence that you're pulling out all the stops on all of this stuff, but yet,
Well, let's just be blessed that these people greedy and they want to get back in the office. Because if it wasn't, they'd be having us out here looking stupid.
And I think that's what they don't want to happen. Like, they rather go ahead and eat that elephant right now.
Yeah.
just chop it all up and then throw it out. Then instead of having to worry about the blowback from
we don't do real well with natural disasters. Like when everything's froze over and it was all ice down here, and they didn't stop traffic or reverse traffic or didn't have any officers on the streets, and there were people slipping and sliding all over 20.
Slip and slide records, man.
That was what, 3 years ago?
Yeah,
no,
man.
that was almost 4 years ago.
That was 4 years ago.
Yeah. Slide records.
It's like that one time where it snowed, like we got like 4 inches of snow in one night.
Dog, I remember that time. It was around Valentine's Day, close to that.
Yeah, man.
It was like 8 inches. Like, I actually measured it. I'm like, there's 8 inches of snow in my backyard.
Like, go back in the house. I remember that because I looked out my window and just went back to sleep, and I was supposed to be at work in like 30 minutes.
No.
Well, guess who's not going to work today?
Yeah, I damn you looking to write me up.
But people are panicking. I went to Walmart tonight, man. It is absolutely nuts. I mean, people that never grocery shopped in their lives were out there.
They don't know what to buy.
Yeah.
It's like I think I need this bread.
What kind of cereal is good for hurricanes? That's what
King Vitamin.
That's what the milk is for.
God damn.
I need somebody to explain that to me. Now, somebody did tell me last year, and they tried to argue me down. It's for French toast.
No, it is not. That is.
No, nobody says
man.
the egg. Nobody says the cinnamon, the sugar. Nobody says
exactly.
So if it's for French toast, yeah, you need a couple more ingredients. You need eggs. You need.
Well, I guess people already got eggs and cinnamon and stuff in their house. They just don't have the.
If you don't have, all right, but let's be honest.
I mean, I keep eggs in the house. So still.
If you had to rush to get bread and milk, I'm sure your pantry is probably, you might be a little bit depleted on a couple other things beyond just that. And to say like French toast is it's not. I don't want to say it's like a random breakfast, but it's not something that you regularly make. So,
yeah,
I don't.
Apparently, you just make it in thunderstorms and hurricanes.
I mean, I totally see. I see bread, and I'm kind of surprised because you can still like buy peanut butter at most places.
Which is weird because I don't eat peanuts for obvious reasons. I'm allergic to them, but I would see like that would be the most filling thing you can have. And actually it's good to a certain extent, it's good for you. But you think the USDA put that crap in people's head years ago and make you go buy milk? Not the bread part, but the milk. That's what I think. That's my educated guess.
I'm sure it's got something to do with like some.
It was probably during that time when everybody thought that we were about to get bombed. And they were going to have to live in fallout shelters.
Oh, you mean like the Cold War era?
Yeah. So
the early Cold War
supplies to last you, and they had milk and all this other stuff in their fallout shelters. I don't know.
You mean like Cuban Missile Crisis that time?
Yeah. Have y'all ever drank powdered milk? Not powdered.
Yes.
How is it?
No, don't ever drink that ever in your life. No
What's that? Evaporated
as a grown man.
What is what?
Huh?
What's evaporated milk? Is that the same as powdered?
No, it's like evaporated. It's like basically it's evaporated milk is condensed to where a lot of the I forgot what's exactly taken out of it, but pretty much it's a really, really, really heavy cream at that point.
Oh, I don't
listen. There's no reason as a grown man with a job who can afford to pay his bills and eat regular food for you to go out and buy powdered milk. Don't ever do that in your life. Don't ever let anybody convince you to drink powdered milk. It is a horrible, horrible thing that should not be invented and should not exist.
So when did you experience this? Because I'm so
we were poor. And we had powdered milk. It was a very brief time, but it was horrible. And I still remember the taste. Don't ever do it.
Oh, man. About to be...
For Halloween, I'm going to put powdered milk on the counter.
Yeah, don't do that, man. There's no reason. And it's like you can't really tell because when you look in the cabinet, it's like cereal and powdered milk in the same kind of box.
That's devil's work.
Yeah.
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 I'm trying to think of like some other stuff I've seen people do that's like really, really strange. Like I'm surprised like there's still like gas stations haven't run out of fuel yet. I mean, I filled up tonight. In case for whatever reason power goes out, then
well, apparently we have a huge source of gas or gasoline here in the state, so I don't think that running out thing should happen again.
Nah, it shouldn't. We already see their price gouging though. Was that a real picture somebody showed this morning?
Yes, that was a real picture. Somewhere in Beaufort, I believe, charging $7 for gas.
Yeah, but they can't do that.
I think they know they can't.
It's like, let's see how many people we can get with this. Man.
Or else they were trying to turn people away. So at that point, if we did have a shortage, they'd be the only gas station with gas.
I mean,
oh, that's that bullshit, but that makes sense.
Yeah. So it works out.
I'm trying to think what else is like weird that's going on.
I've seen they tell people not to like duct tape their windows, but people do it anyway.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it pretty much does nothing on today's windows.
It really just keeps all the pieces together after it falls out of your windowsill.
It just keeps it from blasting on you, really. Well, most of that stuff is made that way, right?
Yeah, so most windows now are tempered glass anyway, so
that's why I've never understood.
It's just still coming out.
But it's just like how your glass in your car are gonna break, like how it just goes into the little shards, so it doesn't like cut you up.
Yeah.
It's the same concept, yeah.
But people still do. Okay, so they got the bread, the milk, the water.
I mean, water, yes. Now, water is like I could get water, but it's like impossible to find at this point. But it's what not bothers me about the whole water thing, but it's like, all right, you're buying bottles of water. Couldn't you just get like, I don't know, like one of them camping jug things and just fill that up?
You just don't get a water purifier and
because if your water supply goes,
no, you're talking about like beforehand, fill it up.
Yeah, like you fill out you fill up like maybe a 3 or 4 gallon thing, that pretty much will cover like the next couple of days.
Dude, like dead ass, like. I still have bottles of water from like last year hurricane.
You probably need to throw those away.
What?
No, like dead ass.
They tell you after a certain amount of time, don't drink that water because the plastic starts getting into the water.
Oh yeah,
yeah. The BPA stuff. That's what.
Don't drink those.
Don't drink the water.
Too bad, I already did.
What's some other weird things that people do when it comes to like storm season?
Some of them stay home, knowing they need to get the hell out of them houses they in.
Yeah, luckily that's not a big thing anymore. People are leaving now. Yeah. You still have like some of those people like, I didn't leave for such and such. I ain't leaving for this. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, I don't think they're really pressing people too much because the first responders need to get home to their families too. So I'm like, you say no twice, then they gone. They'll send a helicopter for you. But I saw a lot of people buying unnecessary things, vegetables, things that are going to spoil.
You know what? All right, think about that though. You said vegetables are going to spoil. I don't necessarily think. I don't see that as a negative because in 3 to 4 days from now, I mean, you can still eat like broccoli. If it's been sitting out, I mean, it'll be all right.
You can't. 3 to 4 days. Leave broccoli on your counter for 3 days.
I mean, well, if it's not like as soon as the power goes out, it's going to be like immediately. It's just going to start dying. I mean, it's already dead. So I don't know, man. Like, what else could it be that like for example, like in my home here in Raleigh. We have a gas stove. So if the power goes out, all I got to do is I turn the eye on. Got to be careful when you do it. But you turn it on, you're able to actually still be able to light it. And GE's given or Samsung made this stove. Like the instructions on how to do it. It's not, you can't blow your whole house up unless you leave the eye on for like 45 minutes or something like that.
Oh, yeah. I have a gas stove, yeah.
But yeah, if you have a gas stove, you're still able to light it. So you're still technically able to cook. I mean, so it's not the
electricity part is only for the panel up top, and that's really for the oven. You can't use the oven.
Yeah, the oven has its own like pilot, it's electronically controlled. So I mean, I mean, I think when I see people buy things, like I need to buy like this, you know, huge assortment of potato chips. I'm like, this is really what you plan to, like, you know, this is how you're going to hold
out. Those are what do they call them? Hurricane snacks or whatever, which people are probably eating tonight.
Yeah, I was about to say, man, they're gonna get to Thursday and have no food left.
Yeah,
they're gonna assume Walgreens sandwiches.
You said Walgreens what?
You know, Walgreens be open for every like closes.
Oh, for no reason. Yeah. You're right about that.
So they got the list here of things that you probably need. Of course, water, food, battery powered or hand crank radio, flashlight, first aid kits, extra batteries, whistle to signal for help. A dust mask.
Did you see the movie Prisoners?
No.
You never saw the movie Prisoners?
The fuck is that?
All right, it's a movie with Jake Gyllenhaal and Hugh Jackman. It's a really, really great movie. But blow the whistle, that's a thing at the end of the movie. As weird as that sounds.
Blow the whistle.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I know about blow the whistle.
Oh, somebody was about to get violated in that movie and they had a rape whistle.
I knew you were about to say
moist towelettes, wires to turn off utilities, manual can opener for food, local maps, and cell phone with chargers and the backup battery. Yeah. So that's all you need. I mean, I got a flashlight. I don't have any batteries.
That makes how much sense, Brian?
None whatsoever.
Okay.
Good talk.
Sorry. I mean, I don't know how to do this stuff. I mean, I'm probably just gonna go to somebody's house who's not gonna float or fly away.
What?
Float or fly away.
I mean, if the house flies away, I mean, like, what kind of house are they living in?
It's been in somebody's trailer in a hurricane.
Okay. No.
Yep. They do I mean, no, he's right. He's right.
They do lift.
Yeah, he's right. Yeah, he's pretty right about that.
But anyway, just if you're in the area where this hurricane is coming, be careful. If not, invite somebody if you're close by that is in these areas to come over and cop a squat for a little while. Don't do it to be nice and invite people you don't like or don't want to be around for a long period of time.
Oh man, you know what? It's supposed to be able to help your neighbor out, man. Come on.
Well, I mean, you ain't want to sit there somebody you're gonna murder.
I mean,
if you say one more word,
I'm throwing it outside in the wind and rain.
Yeah. So I mean, hurricane's coming. There's nothing you can do. It's almost a helpless feeling.
I guess I felt more helpless in other situations. Of course, the weather is unpredictable, but they are at a point where they can figure out a lot of trends. And like me and Rich just don't like a lot of the posturing somebody's doing right now. And it's kind of like he's just finding a way to get votes. Like in my heart of hearts, I know what a lot of these moves are. Because if Raleigh area isn't doing those moves and it's coming right at them, like I'm just being dead ass. Like it is what it is. I appreciate that we're doing this.
Exactly.
Like, of course we'd have the command center be going on, but not gonna lie, when I saw that, I went, huh? Like even people near the lower part of the coast, I saw some stuff on Instagram were like, I didn't expect all this.
Yeah.
And a lot of them were gonna go on their own, but they just didn't expect like them mandated early. Like, yeah. That I don't know. I just think it's political posturing for votes because we already know how he go. He didn't get voted in the first place. He got appointed. So,
you know what? I find this. I think this is the weirdest thing about all of this is that we have meteorologists, we have scientists, We have climatologists that are helping determine the path of this hurricane and using predictive modeling to determine where the hurricane is going to go, how it's going to act, and its effects. Why, when it comes to climate change, these are the same people saying that same thing, but yet for whatever reason we just kind of forget that.
But we believe them right. Not we, but they believe them right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not with them. They believe them right now.
Like why? Like how is it? This is the same people talking, but yet you're saying that they don't know what they're talking about. They don't have enough data. It's like,
but right now they got all the data. They got everything. Of course, it's a life or death situation. It is. I don't want to downplay it, but it's like
half of it is like you can see it in front of your face. It's like, oh man, it's like it's kind of hard to if you're tied to the track, it's kind of hard to move out of the train's way.
Man, after you've screamed something for so long, and then you find out that what you've been saying is bullshit, you really can't turn back. You have to keep going. Now I'm pretty sure they go home and be like, "Hey, yo, this global warming shit for real." Don't tell anybody I told you that.
I know that's the case.
In the public, they have to keep that lie going. Or they're going to look like hypocrites and flip-floppers and snowflakes, whatever the other words they made up.
And us educated people, we know what it's for. It's to cater to those lobbyists that give them that money. To like deregulate this stuff so we can keep these fossil fuel and all this other shit going. That's all it is.
I really wish I wish that we would stop looking at politicians in a way where they can't change their mind. Because how many of us have literally changed our mind 6 times by just trying to figure out what we're going to eat for breakfast? I mean,
good point. Let's talk about like when we're gonna go out, like how we don't know where we're gonna go.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like you're human. You make you take information for what it is at a time, and you make a decision based on that piece of information. This is on both sides. It's like someone could have a change of heart or a change of understanding based on new information. Doesn't necessarily mean they have to stick with it. And I think
at one point, politicians did change their mind. They were like, hey, this is wrong, let's do it this way. But you're in the age of insults
and polarization.
So when did they start using flip-flopper? That was around Bush or
I think it's right.
That's when people started using the term flip-flopper. Nobody wanted to be a flip-flopper and nobody wanted to be indecisive in what they were doing, so they started sticking to their guns, even though their guns were bullshit. So that's just what happened, and now it's to the point where they don't even think about it as lying anymore. They're just being patriots and steadfast in their resolve and all this other mess.
Man, screw that. This is done.
Everybody knows that global warming is happening.
Yeah, there's
climate change is happening.
Like that flood, which was 2015, October 2015. I googled it right before we started. Like, everybody knows that was like a once in a lifetime type occurrence. Like that just doesn't happen. Something happened. They said it was due to the water being warm at that spot, warmer than usual at that time of year. Wonder why it was warmer.
Somebody took a piss in it.
Fuck.
There's no.
What are you gonna say, Rich?
I wasn't gonna say something. I'm done. No, I'm good.
A shark took a piss in it. That's what happened.
There's a lot of sharks.
But but
it's just all this stuff is happening at the same time. You can't ignore it anymore. You can just get louder telling everybody else that they're crazy.
Yeah.
Is that rain?
What?
Maybe for him, not me.
I mean, it rained here. You know what, man? Like I took Arlene's car out, and it rained. It was like you could see like the thunder. Not see the thunder. You could see the lightning was just going like ape outside, and it started raining, and then it just cleared up. So like that swell, the rain. The bands of this hurricane are literally like starting to loop right over us. So I know it's coming.
It's too quiet before the storm, man.
Yeah, man. The weather was great today, man. So I know it's about to be bad.
Yeah, it was nice outside. I was like, hey, I should just hang outside for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, it was beautiful outside today.
That's usually how it always works.
But I don't even think I'm prepared. Like I bought water yesterday and figured that was enough. That's all I need.
Okay.
That's kind of I thought. There's a lot of fruit in the fridge.
I'll put some more gas in the car tomorrow.
Yeah, if there's any gas left,
there'll be gas left.
Okay,
there'll be gas left.
You know what? People are gonna fill up their cars and then buy all those. I bet you go to Walmart, they'll probably be next.
Most people ain't thinking about that because their jobs are closing, so they're thinking, I don't have to go anywhere. I don't need any gas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you say that now.
That's true.
Fill their car just
shoot. What's the gas going to be? What good the gas going to be when the street's going to be flooded?
Oh wow. But that's just like I said. I was at the gym and I talked to the GM there, and he was just like, he's like, you trying to drum up some business today? He thought be more people in there. He was like, shoot. He look around, it's like kind of dead. He's like, every time there's a storm, he said people forget where the gym is, even though it's like up here not as much happen. I said, man, people find excuse not to go nowhere.
Right. The storm ain't gonna hit for another week, and it's like, I gotta stop.
He said people calling out of their training sessions and stuff. I was like, what?
I know I'm supposed to come in today, but it's gonna rain Thursday. So I was wondering.
He just had me rolling. He had that look like I don't know.
Like, come on, man, really?
Oh man.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, Friday's gonna be pretty terrible. So I'm just gonna have to just tell you, like, I'm gonna have to skip all my diet stuff this week. Like, I just can't take it.
Are you gonna eat your feelings? I don't understand what you're talking. Do you eat when you're nervous?
Oh man, there was actually one of the hurricane checklists I happened to come across. It actually had comfort food listed as one of the things to get. Jesus. And it's because of your stress level.
Oh man, they just find ways for people to just stay fat, don't they?
Come on. Like, comfort food, really?
What's
There's somebody sitting there right now with somebody sitting in their house right now with a tub of mashed potatoes and gravy. Like, I can't wait till this storm comes.
What's my comfort food? Wings, cheese fries, I guess.
Mine would have to be pizza.
You better not eat none of that when this storm comes, because if y'all toilet stop, you better not eat none of that.
Oh man,
that's funny.
Mm-hmm. But we just gotta, just be prepared, and whatever happens, happens.
I mean,
whatever
be gone
happens,
by Saturday. Saturday will be gone. At least up here, supposedly.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like, the eye of the storm would have passed us by Saturday. I think we're probably going to see rain until like Monday.
Yeah,
maybe Tuesday.
Because if you're seeing rain now, if you're seeing the bands now, and the thing ain't supposed to hit till Thursday, yeah, you're gonna see rain a little bit after Friday or after Saturday. But it probably might not happen. It'll just turn into a tropical storm.
Hope so.
Yeah.
Brian,
but
got a question for you.
What's your question?
How did your team tie yesterday?
Fuck them dudes. All right, first of all, let me get this out of the way. I'm not watching the NFL. I still have not watched the game.
Yeah, how are y'all holding up with that? For me, it's not really a problem.
Struggle.
I'm good.
Dog, it's like Pookie. It's like Pookie from New Jack City. It is rough out here.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm trying to convince myself reasons to watch it now. I'm like, maybe we need
Trump
to watch.
Said he ain't gonna watch it. So I'm watch it.
Yeah, our brothers down in the trenches playing this game. Let's support our brothers by watching the NFL. It only makes sense.
Man,
I am dying, and we tied. How the hell do you stop a game with a tie?
Yeah, I had to ask somebody because I was at work and I did see that part, and I was just like, I can't remember the rule. I said, because I remember when NFL didn't have overtime, like the regulation would end with a tie.
Yeah.
And then I remember they had the sudden death thing. But like now they still kind of have it, but they still play out the 15 minutes. So I was like, is there still ties in football? And then when he threw that incompletion, they started hugging us. Oh, I guess they are ties.
What are you hugging for? Ain't nobody won. You're two losers.
That's the only two plays I saw. It's like the play before and the play after. I said, oh, okay.
Sickening. because I wasn't watching the game, but I was keeping track of the score on my phone. So I saw when it was
watching it.
Yeah, that's not. I saw when it was 7-0 and 7-14 and so and so and so and so, and I saw it stop on 21-21, and it 21. Said final, huh? Oh, and it was final. So I was like, well, maybe my phone messed up. I actually cut my phone off and cut it back on because I thought it was stuck. It still said 21-21. I'm like, what the game?
You didn't say the F by it? It was done.
I saw it say final, but I'm like, maybe they mean final, but overtime. You know, maybe they do an overtime thing. Maybe that's just how the phone. That's just how the phone reads it.
Your phone maybe ain't that damn over.
Yeah, I was saying, come on,
killer. But yeah, it's hurting, man.
And then you had last night, and then I didn't see any of it. Then I read like the headlines talking about Aaron Rodgers with a Hall of Fame comeback. I'm like,
what?
Nigga. Oh my god. Oh my god. And then they were talking about Khalil Mack sacked the quarterback, like hurt Aaron Rodgers. Oh damn, Khalil Mack catches an interception and runs it back. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, yo, it's really fucking with me right now.
This is how it always works.
I got a little dude on my shoulder with his Steelers uniform. I'm like, nobody's gonna know. Just a little bit of it, Brian. And let's go to a sports bar. Come on, let's go.
Exactly.
Me and you.
And then the Panthers played the Cowboys out of all teams yesterday. Yeah. And we won. And I could have trolled the fuck out of people, but I didn't see a play.
Because we are men of integrity.
I was hurting last night, dog. I was hurt.
We make promises and we stick by the things that we say we're going to do.
That's right. Because, I mean, a whole lot has changed for me. I'll tell you that.
Shout out to Snowfall for keeping my attention last night. Shout out to FX and John Singleton for keeping my attention. Because if not, I would have slipped right on up.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would have admitted it to you, last night if I was watching it, but I did.
Yeah, I've been binge watching some bullshit, trying not to watch football.
Dude, I was watching the replays of the college games before I started binge watching shows. I'm like, I just want to see football. Like I was in heaven watching, even though we got our ass cut, but like it was good to watch football.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
what happened during that game? Because it's like I thought.
The first quarter, we didn't actually play bad. It seems like we did, but the dude clapped at the ball. Rico Dowdle, the running back, clapped at the ball, popped straight up in the air.
Oh no!
And they hit him, so he couldn't get back to the ball. Then they picked off the ball, ran in for a touchdown. Then it's like we actually played well after that. So it was only 17-10 at halftime.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And all of a sudden,
it was third quarter. Some of them boys didn't know what kind of fight you about to be in. Like you got to get more aggressive. Like you got to go for the gusto, and then it just fell off. Like they were pulling, the guards were pulling, and those dudes were running through like gaping holes. Pause. Like it was just like the part of the Red Sea. Like it made no sense how big those holes were for them to run through. And Georgia running backs, they're good, so it was rough. I thought Jake played a decent game. He made way better throws than he normally does. Rico, he got to play better. Debo didn't really do much. He did throw a touchdown, but that was a trick play. Other than that, I actually do feel more confident. They're better than last year. I can say that. But Georgia's hit or miss. Georgia's good, but Georgia fucks up some way down the line. I can see it because they're rough in the secondary.
Mm-hmm.
We just could have did more by throwing the ball. But they're rough.
Georgia's that good of a team.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're just that good. I mean, it doesn't say anything bad about us. It doesn't say anything bad about USC. Georgia's a good team.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, it does say something bad. I mean, they're better than us.
I agree. But I think somebody will look at this tape and they will find ways to play Georgia because I think there's ways in the secondary. Our throwing game could have been better. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it's so much was on Jake, but I think there's teams, if they can throw, I think they can eat up Georgia. Now, running the ball on them?
No, you're not getting through that line.
We only had like 54 yards. So,
jeez.
Yeah.
Just letting you know.
Wow.
So,
which is good for the next team Georgia plays. Because they're like, okay, don't do that. I'm glad y'all played them first, so I'm not trying to run through these boys. We can't do that.
Yeah. And what's crazy, they got a good ass kicker. So I think that part of it like set it up because you gotta remember Debo has ran back 3 kickoff returns in his career,
Mm-hmm.
and their kicker, every kickoff was a touchback. Every kickoff was a touchback. So we never had any kickoff returns to even get better, field position. So that kind of played a part too.
He was kicking the hell out of that ball.
Yeah. Ricardo or something, Blankenship. Weird name, but yeah, he was kicking the fuck out of that ball.
Yeah, they whooped ass. That's just, you gotta lick your wounds, move on. I hope they don't take their feelings into the next game.
Well, if Saturday's good, maybe we can go somewhere and watch us play Marshall. That's who we play at 7:30 on Friday.
You better not lose to Marshall. Marshall.
Yeah, not today.
Is that team?
Yeah,
Marshall Thunder and Herd out of West Virginia.
Okay. But all in all, we can still watch college. This professional thing is killing me. I don't know if I can do it.
I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna be honest.
y'all
probably ain't gonna make it.
Hey, y'all fight a good fight, man. Come on.
Yeah,
Hey,
I mean, we play the Ravens on the 30th. I'm still a fan, everybody. If y'all didn't know, we play the Ravens on the 30th. I always watch that game because I got people I got to talk shit to.
You can talk noise to them. You just can't.
No, that's a big game. Ravens Steelers is huge.
I know it's a huge game, but still, I mean, just talk noise to them. You have to watch the game.
I can't if I'm not watching.
You can't do it effectively.
If I say like, "Ooh, we gonna whoop y'all," and like they just took out Ben and knocked his knees backwards, I need to watch that while it's happening. So I don't say that. So. Yeah, I'm gonna just keep coming to y'all for pep talk. Brian, don't do it. Brian, don't do it. Brian, don't do it.
Don't come to me because I'll be like, huh? What? Oh, I'm watching the game.
Oh, you watching? Okay. It's cool. You want? Okay, we watching.
Y'all terrible.
Y'all gonna hit us up in the chat and me and him drunk downtown watching.
Brian, I couldn't do it. I'm sorry. Nigga, it's a game, not crack. I needed it. But speaking of, while we're on the sports topic, Serena Williams played in her match yesterday, was it?
Yeah.
That's
right. Against let me get the girl's name here.
That's exactly what I was going for because she deserves a shot.
I got
Naomi Osaka.
Yeah, Naomi Osaka. Naomi Osaka is a Haitian Japanese young lady, and she beat Serena. Now, during the match, Serena's coach is sitting in the audience. I don't know if y'all saw the video.
Yeah. I saw it.
But he's sitting in the audience, and people in front of him, and he's mumbling to himself, and he does this.
Do it again. I switched screens. I missed it.
He kind of just does this. Okay. So one of the guys that sits on sits on the lifeguard chair says that. Says that he was coaching Serena from the stands, which I don't think he was. He was probably just mouthing some things. I don't know. It kind of upset Serena. She was like, I'm not a cheater. I'd rather lose. So she did that. Something else happened that made her upset, and she broke her racket. And all in all, they charged her $17,000 for let's see here. What was it?
Playing while black.
Shit.
You could say that. But anyway, it was kind of like unsportsmanlike conduct or something like that. They charged her $17,000 for. And basically what they're doing, because nothing she did, I mean, and even after the little girl beat her, young lady, I'm sorry, the young lady.
I was like, that's a dude, man. That's a grown woman that beat Serena Williams.
Yeah. But even after the young lady beat her, they had them both standing there and they were announcing the winner, and everybody was booing the little girl. I'm sorry, booing the girl, and she was crying.
Lady,
yeah, the young lady, and she was crying. And Serena actually told everybody to stop booing. This young lady beat me fair and square. Y'all should applaud her. You know, this is about competition. Blah blah. She said something very motivational. So the crowd started cheering. Now, one thing that it did kind of take attention away from the winner of the match. I understand that, but she was playing Serena Williams. That is probably the best tennis player to ever touch a tennis racket.
Right.
So what happened after that was all these stories started coming out about Serena losing her temper and being angry, and they're basically trying to vilify this chick and turn her into the angry black woman. And now everybody's in uproar. She even had a drawing a magazine came out with.
That was out of Melbourne, Australia. I saw that.
Yeah. And it made her look like
big burly black person jumping on top of their racket.
Yeah,
I saw that. Yep.
So, you know, and that's just one of those things where this is how they look at us in some aspect. You know, no matter how good we can be at something, and no matter how far we get in a certain area of expertise that wouldn't have regularly gone to us, or we wouldn't have regularly stepped into, then they'll find some way to make us out to be the villain in the situation. And they did. So all of these stories are telling this side that didn't happen. She's not an angry woman. She's not a monster. She's not a beast. She's passionate. And a lot of men that came before Serena done the same thing, if not worse.
Oh yeah. And I think that's the thing. The that's the piece that really sets the tone, because it's like, if anyone else did it, it'd be considered as, you know, showing confidence, you know, having that air of like, oh, that's just, you know, the winner spirit, you know. But when it's her doing it, it's all of a sudden like she's angry, she's upset. I mean, it's like, remember when Cam Newton was like stormed off the field in one of the games? It's like, I mean, ain't nobody trying to lose, you know. So it's like, it's not. Like no one has put the several thousands of hours into becoming the best at a sport to go out there and be happy about losing. And I'm not saying that you got to be a dick about it. No, that's not. There's a difference there. But to say like I'm not supposed to wear a smile on my face when I just got, you know, got my tail handed to me, when I thought that I, you know, in my purview, I was the best of the best, and I got beaten. And that was so you not only this is kind of like when we talk about things with people in politics, it's like, you know, the understanding, like that double down effect, when you have to be like realizing that they're wrong and they have to come to that realization that they're wrong, but it takes a whole lot of like additional effort to get to that point. Yeah, to get to the understanding. It's the same kind of thing here. It's like if you've believed and you've been shown time and time and time again. I mean, and don't get me wrong, Serena's like by far like one of the greatest tennis players that's ever walked this earth. Even that being said, it's like now this one person just came through and was like, all right, yeah, I'm better than you. And it's like, that's a culture shock. You know, that is a new experience. You know, I mean, I know she's lost before, but it's like that's not the norm.
Yeah, and she could have went about it a completely different way. Now, the passion she showed, or the anger she showed during the game, was because she was losing. Right. Now, it had nothing to do with who she was losing to. It was the fact that she was losing the game. Right. And you could tell that she took it as, I lost to somebody who was better than me today, by the way she handled the little presser when both of them were standing side by side. You know, there was nothing personal there. She didn't have anything against this girl. You know, she was angry because she was losing the game. She lost the game, and she made amends with it. She moved on.
But I call bullshit on two sides, not one on hers. I call bullshit on the ref official. I don't know what a tennis judge is called. Might be a judge. I don't know. For one, you don't insert yourself into a match of that magnitude. That's just like when we've watched NBA. I'll say NBA finals, for example. It's been a couple of NBA finals that went to game 7, and for some reason the refs just fuck it up and find ways to just blow the whistle the entire game. Let the people play. Exactly. Let the people play to determine who's the best person. Don't insert yourself like, hey, the coach is coaching you. When I listen to people who are actually tennis experts, I was listening to it this morning, they said the same things they saw him do, you could see the other coach do. And it's like, why were you paying attention to that coach? Don't insert yourself in the game. And 2, they're talking about she's angry, she's aggressive. a lot of those same things, if you turn into ESPN any fucking day when they talk about LeBron James, don't they criticize him for not being aggressive is what they say.
All right.
They always criticize him, like, he doesn't have the killer instinct. He doesn't have that. This woman, which I think is part of the issue for them, has all of that what you're looking for out of an athlete, which is probably why she excels at the highest of levels, has that, and they down her for it. But with LeBron, who I think actually has it, he just shows it a different way. They say he doesn't have it, and they criticize him for it. So I'm kind of confused on, was LeBron supposed to not be as aggressive and loud, and she's not supposed to be, and who's supposed to be what? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Well, or they just don't want a woman or a black woman, to be exact, to be into that sport and dominate. What is it? Yeah, that's what I'm confused about. Like, what do you
and they said that same ref called the same things on Venus.
I didn't know that part.
It's the same exact ref that was calling the same things. Your coach is coaching you and all this stuff. So
but I literally heard they said the same thing they saw her coach do. They see all the time in any tournament. It didn't matter if it was the French Open, US Open, Wimbledon, Australian Open. They say they see it in every single one. They said it wasn't that serious. And they said a match of that magnitude, stay the fuck out of it. It's not worth it because you're going to make yourself look like a jackass. And that's where he's looking right now.
Yeah. And it did. And I didn't know the crowd could hear Serena talk so well because I didn't think she was talking that loud.
No, they get really quiet. Like you can't hear it. You don't hear it through the mic, but the people normally can hear them. They sit right on top of them almost.
Yeah, when she said, "I'd rather lose. I don't cheat. I'd rather lose," and everybody started cheering. I was like, So yeah, I don't know, man. I think there's something because I know a few people who deal with sports, and they're older people, and the only time they say anything negative about anybody, and I've noticed this. The only time they say anything negative about anybody is if it's a female who seems to have some sort of strength and who might not be the corporate color. I put it like that. And they hate that. And I don't even know that they know they're doing it, but those are the only people that they say negative things about.
You want to know this little tidbit? I didn't even realize till this weekend. How long? Just take a wild guess between you two. I don't even know the answer, but I just want to hear your answers. How long has Serena been dominating this sport? Let's just say year-wise, or what year you think she dominated this sport.
She's been doing this for what, 20 years almost?
Yeah.
Think about that. Y'all just said that, right?
You
know she wasn't the top earning tennis athlete until 2 years ago. Female tennis athlete until 2 years ago.
Jesus, really?
Yeah. Maria Sharapova was.
Oh,
and that's the chick that never won a match.
Yeah, curb stomps her. Stomps her.
I mean, them teeth all over the curb, man.
Like evidently she had put out a book or something like that where she took some little dry jabs at her, and then people tweet and all that. And it's kind of, they have respect for each other, but it's kind of like she took up for her once the people actually went at Serena. She did take up for her, so I'll give her that prop. But it's like, I mean, I understand why you would take jabs at her. Like, shit, this girl's good as hell, and they supposed to see I'm one of the best, and I can't beat her. Right. You know, I have to do something. If my game can't play, I got to talk some type of shit. So, but yeah, she wasn't earning the most money as a female tennis player, the most money until 2 years ago. And we say she's probably the greatest athlete of all time. She literally wasn't a top earner in her sport till 2 years ago. If that ain't about race, I don't know what it is. And I hate pulling race cards. Once again, shout out to Nike for figuring this shit out.
Nike running shit right now, bro.
But like, think about it, man. People like Nike best, Nike that. You think Nike has not sat here and studied to where it's more beneficial for us to be on the right side of this than be on this other bullshit side? There's more money to be made on this side. That's when I know the country is changing, guys, and y'all ain't shit y'all can do about it. Y'all
did you hear? Side note, I mean, I know this is not totally related to that, but I was listening to the Joe Budden podcast. You listen to the whole episode, right?
I did not listen to the whole episode. You know, his episodes are like 3 hours long.
Yeah, well, I listened to the part that
clip is only part of it. That's the crazy part.
So it's like an hour and a half of him basically going on a full rage quit on Eminem. But anyway, he made a point and was saying how, like, back when when M first came out, he was making jokes about gay people, right?
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And then he was like, but Joe was like, I mean, that joke doesn't work because things have changed now.
He's like, gay people rule the world.
Yeah, so the gays run this now. So it's like that doesn't work no more. So I mean, it's not. And I know he's saying it in jest, but it's kind of like things. The world is shifting.
Yeah, he's telling me he's out of touch because he's not out here on the internet and he's like secluded wherever the hell he is.
Right. Yeah, and the same thing runs true, like you said about Nike. I'm sure they have some. There's a bean counter that was like, you know what? If we go to the other side, at some point we're going to lose money on this position if we go to the other way.
Mm-hmm.
So what they were like, if we go on. I don't ever like to use the term right side of history because I don't, that's
why I kind of tried to stay. I said the right side. I was going to say history.
The more progressive position. They know that the track for gaining more money is heavier on that other side. So
it is.
I mean, it just
kind of. I know people like, oh, well, that's them trying to get money. Yeah, but think about it like this. If there's more money to be on that side, that means more people are on that side. Right. Which I feel better about.
Well, that means that also means they're trying to expand that market cap, man.
Thank you. It gives me optimism. If they feel that and they're a major corporation that normally makes sound decisions, they normally excel at everything, that does make me confident in some things with the country. Or at least the future of it to a certain extent.
I'm still just waiting for people to go ahead and start saying they want to throw away their F-150s because I will gladly take.
I said,
brother, you think I ain't keeping my eye on the police auction and all that stuff,
bro?
Yeah, let me get my racist ass truck off here.
Let me driving F-150 to work at home. Just cause.
Please let me get your bullet Mustang. I need it.
Ooh, I didn't even think about that. Ooh.
Yeah, let me get that race bait Mustang off you.
No, you don't need that. Remember. You don't need that like them Nikes. You don't need that.
Yeah, I think that is the funniest thing about this whole like protest quote unquote thing is that one, it's hard to protest something you already bought, but the thing is though is like you will honestly, if you have that strong of a convention, so you will literally cut the Nike swoosh out of your socks, but I promise you, if he drove a Ford, he will gladly be riding that thing until the wheels fall off because he's probably still got another 3 years on loan. So I mean, I find it so weird. It's like we're getting to the point where we just do things for social media attention. It's like, okay, yeah, you literally cut the swoosh out of one pair of socks that you own. Okay, I bet you didn't do that with the other, because how many Nikes have what? Like whenever you buy a pair of socks, I'm sure it's not just one pair of socks.
No, it's at least two.
Right.
Well, most times at least three. Yeah. So, Nikes are expensive socks. I ain't gonna lie.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And I think they're a little overpriced, but
But I take that back. If you go to Kohl's and other places, they're not. I just thought about that. So they acting like they went to Foot Action. Nah, nigga, you got them from Kohl's.
so again, I bet you they didn't go in. They didn't go in their closets. Were like, yeah, I'm about to go and I'm about to axe these other three pairs up.
Yeah, that and your Air Monarchs and dead ass. I've seen a lot of them. People had Air Monarchs. I'm like, Nike makes those as throwaway. They might not even make those. They might outsource to a company for those.
They just staple on
those $34.99 ass shoes. Get out of here, bro. Looking like a basketball coach for a middle school.
You just fake outrage. And like I said earlier in the show, it's just a situation where you've been saying something's been wrong for so long, and you notice that what you've been doing is just stupid, but you're too deep, so you got to take it to the next level. And it's like some of these guys are just chilling when their dumbass friend come over and be like, Nike don't like us, burn your Nikes. And like, I don't really want to. Burn your Nikes. So they burn the Nikes and put it on the internet. You're going to see a lot. People are going to use tomorrow. We all know what tomorrow is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There are going to be people that are going to use tomorrow as a springboard to say more things about this fake outrage and things that they shouldn't say or things that they don't understand. And I think tomorrow is just one of those things that kind of proves that we're all kind of in this at the same time and all in this together. We kind of need to just work and shut up and go home.
Right. Well,
Because
I think
we were all affected.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we were all affected by this in the same way. But unfortunately, there will be some comments made tomorrow for political gain and to push whatever agenda these people are pushing. And it's just going to turn into another ugly conversation. So burn your Nikes, abandon your Fords. One day you're going to realize that you just as broke as us.
Boom. And you've been swindled by people that tell you how to think.
Bamboozled. But we don't use the Plymouth Rock reference, so you can't use that one when they start fucking with you.
Izzo just drop off. I think you just did.
Yeah, Izzo just left. He'll be back. He just dropped the mic. He said boom and there you go.
Me too. Wrong thing on the screen. I was trying to close a window. And I closed the wrong one.
I made my point. Good night.
Oh, my bad. Boom.
Bye.
No, man, this the outrage, man. It's just weird. It's like you're doing something for the sake of honesty.
I think outrage is a sport now. Like
it is, man. It's like how ridiculous. Like to say that I'm going to literally cut off the tops of my socks, or I'm gonna destroy a Keurig. Yeah, I'm gonna throw it off. I forgot about the Keurig. I'm gonna throw it off of my like 5th story apartment just because I'm mad. And it's like,
but we need to dig in at why you're mad. Are you mad because somebody said you're mad? Or are you mad because you don't want black people or people of any type of color to excel in anything?
I'm mad because I love America.
Yeah, that's what they'll say. I love America and the flag. And I'm like, but like, and I break down the thing with the flag in my mind. And I'm like, you love the flag. Explain why. Like nobody can probably ever give me a real answer, like what it stands for. Tell me what it stands for. And then I will give you the inverse. And I'm like, guess what? I was known as 3/5 of a man for a long ass time. So guess what? My relationship with that flag is different. But guess what? I'm just as American as you are. Guess what? My ancestors built this fucking country where y'all sat y'all asses down. So it is what it is.
Man,
I'm still standing by this whole. I don't know what a anthem protest is because there's no such thing.
See, Brian, but you read though.
You ain't even gotta read.
You don't. It's out there. Like, you can literally be. You can be somebody who sell weed on the corner all day, every day, and you hear something about that. Yeah, that's just it. That's not an anthem protest. Like, you could not watch TV, not be in tune. It could slip across you somehow.
That's what's funny about it, man. It's like
unless you only watch Fox News, of course.
Well, that's true. Yeah, like half the time it's like it's like people don't like you can have a disagreement of opinion or feelings or something. It's just like a movie. Like, just because, there are people who probably don't like Jay-Z's Blueprint, like
fuck them.
But see, exactly. see,
nah, I don't feel that way. They just have bad taste in music, but fuck them.
but that is honestly
they don't love in the heart of the city.
Yeah, but that's subjective. I mean, I think the album's a classic.
It is,
but some people might honestly think like, it's all right. And that just might be their thing. There are people who are on the side of the issue that they find that it's disrespectful. Okay, that's nice. That does not necessarily mean that I'm an idiot, or does mean that I'm wrong for thinking you. It just simply means that we have a difference of opinion. And last time I checked, the First Amendment says that you have the right to protest. And the cause has been stated several times across multiple avenues, multiple mediums, and it's even been endorsed. The person who was the starter of this thing consulted a person who actually was in the military about this whole thing. as far as the way to actually do it. So it's just kind of like, well, what else do you want? Like, is there anything else that you need to make this make sense? And it just seems like no one really wants to talk to the other side. It's just a matter of like,
oh, they don't.
I think unfortunately, I think that goes both ways. I'm not saying like for us, like us personally. I think, because like I can actually have an honest conversation with somebody who honestly thinks a different viewpoint. It's until they start doing name calling, I'm like, okay, I'm out because you're a complete ass now. So we're done.
Listen, I've actually seen a grown man who stood on that side. Somebody tried to tell him what everything was about, and I watched the dude go, nope, not listening. It's not about that, blah blah blah. Like that's how.
But you
didn't even take
time to listen to it.
No,
like, that's crazy.
Because there's a fear of being wrong. I think people.
Now, that's all that, but you're right. But like no one's. But I think it gets back to the point that we made earlier about the having information and being able to change with that new information.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's like, once you have an understanding, it's like, oh, hell, I was wrong about this for the last 6 months. It's like, well, shit. Now I got to do something different.
I think about all the time you wasted defending this point.
And you were wrong.
That's life you can't get back. So the way these people think they're going to go, they're great.
It's the sunk cost fallacy, man.
I think we're at a point right now where, not to say these people's children, because some of them will still carry on those same beliefs, but we're at a point where it's getting broken up to where these people are starting to have their own views, and they're seeing that a lot of the things that they've been told or been taught or what they just viewed in their culture is bullshit. And we're seeing those people out there on those front lines marching, and you see the signs and things like that, and you're like, dang, that looks like an average white dude you would see in school, and you'd be like, I don't know if I should talk to him. And it throws you off, but they're starting to see a lot of the stuff that they were taught is bullshit. Yeah, we just need more people to speak up and not fall into it.
They don't believe some of the stuff that they're sitting out there chanting. Most of those people that sit here, and even the people that ride with Trump, they don't believe that shit. And a lot of them are really, really good people. They're just
caught up in trying to conform with the people they were around. You mean? Because I always think that too. I'm like, you don't have to be like him. At the end of the day, like, he ain't gotta be your friend if he feels that way.
Yeah.
Or if he feels that way, he could be your friend. But if he,
or they got something on the line, and if they step across the little
you think like maybe nepotism or things like that to stay in line and keep a job, or
they'll lose things. They will be ostracized.
Some people might even lose a fucking like your name in a will. You never know. You got a point.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. Some people go to these country clubs because they genuinely love golf.
Yeah, they're not into the other stuff.
Yeah, and some people go because black people can't go.
It's like their outlet to get away from us.
Exactly. So if they sit around and they say, well, I understand what Kaepernick's doing, they kick this dude out of the golf club. You know? So it's just things, and I'm just using golf club as an example.
Renew it probably, but I know what you're saying. They'll find ways. They do it their little ways. That makes sense.
There are ways to get to people, and if you operate off fear, then you're gonna go with whatever clique you have to go with in order to maintain a certain level of life that you're used to living.
You know what, man? See, there's 3 syllables that pretty much have almost solved the problem with diversity. Internet. Because basically at this point, like, we're at a point now to where if you want to understand or learn about a culture, you just literally Google it.
That's true.
So I mean, like, to say that, it's really weird in this weird space of where it's like we can be in touch with anybody, but yet we're so separate from anybody. Because like with like if you think about some of these Facebook groups or any of these messaging systems, like, people get into these little bubbles, and their like their social media feed is tailored to basically to the people that they are associated with. And the posts that you see are only from that one perspective, and it's just because that's what the algorithm shows. Oh, this is what you engage with. Oh, we just gonna keep throwing this at you. Like I remember when Star Wars, when The Last Jedi came out, man, it's like there were so many people because there was so much, like I don't want to say hate was the wrong word, but there were people who were just angry at the movie for honestly no reason. Because I could see why people have complaints about that movie, but to this day, I still think that the way some people went about it is like it's a movie about space wizards meant for children. You know, like if you're that angry about it, like you really have other better things to do.
Mm-hmm.
But like man, it's like to see like my YouTube feed went nuts because it's like why The Last Jedi is the worst movie ever. And I'm like, yo, have y'all not seen House of the Dead?
Oh shit! Yeah, I've seen that in theaters. I was embarrassed.
Did they see what was the thing The Rock was in? The video game movie.
Oh no! Doom.
Yeah.
Oh, Doom wasn't terrible.
Doom was fucking horrible. Doom was horrible.
We still remember one of our friends inviting us to go see it. I said, I'm not going to see that
we
shit.
were all like, no, it wasn't. Here's the thing. I've seen worse movies. It's just that it's not a movie that I would suggest seeing.
But that just makes a point. That other movie you said was a video game movie.
If there was a movie,
video game movies just generally suck, though. I mean,
if there was a bin with just horrible movies in it, the worst movies ever made, Doom would be in that bin.
Nah. I mean, here's the thing about it, man. You know what it see, but that's the thing about arguments or positions of things. You can see sometimes. I mean, I see all the time, but you can see how a person could arrive to that point. Doesn't mean their point is right. Doesn't mean it was right, but you can. I understand. Like here, it was funny you said that because it's like there was a video that was like great scenes in terrible movies, and like the first person shooter sequence in that movie, it's like the good scene in the otherwise terrible movie. Like remember, like
else was bad,
right? So sometimes it's you get to that point, but yeah, man, but like getting back to the algorithm and whatnot, it's just like you see your feed kind of just keep breeding the same things over and over again. So you get into this one thought bubble, and that's all you see. Because if you don't engage with anybody that has a different viewpoint from you, you'll never see it.
Yeah, all you're seeing is what you believe.
Right.
It's just kind of like how they were upset with Google.
Yeah.
Because every time they Googled his name, negative stuff would come up.
Well, that's just because it's unfortunate.
That's just because people search negative shit about you.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, they got nothing to do. Like, you're a dick. You're an ass. That's probably what pops up.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's kind of that's how all these analytic programs work.
Now, why when you Google moron, you get a bunch of pictures of 45? I don't know. Something's up with that. But other than that, the articles that popped up was just things that people searched. You good? You doing it, ain't you?
Yeah, sure, no, man. I'm about to put something else in the chat.
Yeah, so like, all right, so the first, let's see, first, you have Elizabeth Warren is the first picture, then it's Trump, and then Paris Hilton. Trump.
Pocahontas is what he loves to call her.
Yeah, and then Trump is an old guy without his hair.
Shit, he old now. What you mean?
Oh shit, you're right.
He's 70, 71, something like that.
No, he's the oldest person ever win the president. Let's see,
and that's crazy to believe because I swore Ronald Reagan was, but
yeah, man, the Gipper.
Yeah, if you scroll down, it's just pictures of him.
Yeah,
let's try some more insults, idiot. There he goes again.
He's so stupid.
The algorithm, man, they're the ones that did it. Oh, Google.
Under the dirt.
That is kind of hurtful, though, man.
I mean, he hurt a lot of people.
Well, I mean, it's like when you type in Adidon, you'll see Drake in blackface forever. You're in that one, though.
Yeah. But all right, let's see what we got here. I think we went through everything.
Yeah.
Don't ever say that again.
Hey.
At least he didn't add the S to it.
Yeah, I hate that. I really do.
There are two words that I hate. I hate yes. I really, really, really hate that. It's like that's honestly like literally hearing nails on a chalkboard for me.
Yeah.
All right, that's one. And two is when people say hunty.
That's
hate
stupid. I hate that.
Yeah. Hunty, good morning, all that stuff.
It's like when you take a word and you augment it in such a way where it's just completely cringeworthy.
Yeah,
like it
is.
Or bay. It's like why'd you take out a letter?
I never heard that word until like 09.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that was early, and I'm like, what's a bay?
Bay doesn't bother me.
Talking about boo over what? Boo? What is it? I don't know what the fuck it means, but whatever.
Bay doesn't bother me. Hunty, morning, yes, bothers me.
Morning.
Like I don't care if you could be morning. Good morning.
Who
I don't. These chicks that watch Tyler Perry movies. But you could be
on the podcast.
It's like you could be telling me,
Never mind,
meaning of life and how to extend my life 100 more years. But if you started with yes, I'm done. I don't know what else you got to say.
Oh,
Conversation's over. I hate you. So it's just those are that's why I think I'm just like I just hate pop culture sometimes.
I don't know if I don't know if it's a hate of pop culture, man. I think it's just that just makes no sense.
Current pop culture, I despise it. It's pointless.
Yeah,
those made up words and mumble raps.
That's a whole nother thing. We need Sosa for that. We need Sosa for that conversation.
It'll be a short one. Fuck that, bitch. But all right. Anything else that anybody want to talk about? Any hot topic issues?
I got two things real quick. R.I.P. to Mac Miller. I actually,
man, that was sad.
Of course, we all talked about it amongst each other all weekend, but a lot of us didn't listen to music. But I heard a lot of his stuff and it was interesting. But like, if you tell a lot of artists liked him, he had a lot of the young people liked him. He had a lot of the mumble rap people liked him. He had the older cats liked him. Like everybody said he had a good spirit. So that was really sad.
From what I've seen of him, he seemed like a good guy.
Right.
You know, it's just you pick the wrong things to introduce into your life sometimes. Unfortunately, he did, and that's what took him out. There are a lot of rumors about what happened with him and Ariana Grande or whatever, but
yeah,
I don't know. You really can't listen to.
You can't, and they did that girl so wrong. Like she had to she had to turn off the comments, the stuff she posted, like all her stuff, because people trying to blame that poor girl for this dude death. Like,
yeah. But people need a reason, and it really didn't matter if it was her or Beyonce.
Yeah.
Beyonce.
Oh wow, you wow.
I didn't know what you did. You deserve to die.
Oh wow.
But people need a reason, man, and social media is just so evil sometimes.
You know, that is something, man. It's like how did social media get from the point of where it was literally, oh, I know this person, let me poke her, to like,
yeah. Remember we used to think that was big. Remember that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, she poked me on Facebook. Like,
I remember when that was big.
That was the thing. Yeah.
I remember when that was big.
And now it's like it's literally just it's like a cesspool of trolls, just because nobody talks to each other like that. Like, and I think that's the one thing about all social media platforms, Twitter or whatever. It's like people, like, let's be real, like people talk all that noise to the president, but let's just be frank. If the president was standing right in front of you, would you say the exact same thing that you put in a tweet?
I probably wouldn't talk to him at all.
But see, that's what I'm saying, though. But that's my point. It's that like no one talks to, you know, it's like you have that layer of anonymity. Yeah. You know, and for the most part, I will say that interactions on the internet are basically they're just that. Like, it's not like there are any consequences to any words that you actually say. Whereas, you know, if you get up in somebody's face or you get called out about it, it's wholly different. So I think that's the weird thing about the internet now, or social media in general, is that people say things and it's like, you'll talk all this noise, but I promise you, if that person was right in your face, you would completely you'd fold, you would not act that same way. And I think that's kind of the way that I try to, you know, keep my online presence is that if I would not say it to you in your face, then I am not gonna actually even think about posting it. Because I mean, because if for whatever reason, let's say you do wind up stepping to me, it's like, hey, well, this is what I said. This is exactly how
I really can't go back on
my
that.
tweets and posts would be ratchet because I know I say some real things to people I don't know at times, so I feel like I'm getting crossed.
Thug.
I mean,
yeah. But oh yeah, John Legend is a EGOT member now.
Oh really?
Oh wow.
They did the awards before the
he
Emmys.
did Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah, he won an Emmy for that. So now he has an Emmy, a Golden Globe, an Oscar, and a Tony Award. And he's not even that old.
Jeez.
He already got one. Common's not far. I think Common only needs like a Tony, right?
Yeah, but he'll never like sing. So I mean, that's just
well, a Golden Globe. I'm sorry, it's a Grammy. But hell, I think he won a Golden Globe too.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Common just had this crossover thing that happened. Like he went away after he first started and then came back and crossed the hell over.
Common went through some phases in his career. Because remember, he was the rapidy rapper. Like he was like the hard rapper when he came out of Chicago.
And then he did that, and then he disappeared and came back
all righteous and
some of that Badu.
Then he finally got with Kanye and his career took off again, and then he started making movies and he's had an interesting career.
Something about that Badu, bro. I got that stuff.
It's so good. DOC got his voice back.
Yeah, you know you're wrong. That's how you want to go. Bye. Log out.
What'd you say?
I said log out. You know you're wrong.
I was about to say, it's like on that note.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Our hearts and minds are clear. Oh man, that's fucked up.
I can't wait till Sosa hear that.
Yeah, it's like there's stuff made out of that little tree stump they had at the Apollo.
Gotta be.
Try life now.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, you still having that this messed up shit to do, said? I'm not. I might cut that out of this.
Oh Lord.
But anyway, well, yeah, for real. Our hearts and minds clear. Everybody good?
Yeah,
man. I'm sure.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and end this, y'all. If y'all are anywhere near the storm, anywhere in the storm's path, please leave. Find some place safe to go,
or stay home, because that's exactly what I'm doing.
If you are in, and I'm not being funny, if you live in a trailer, because I used to live in a trailer. If you're in a trailer, do not ride this storm out in a trailer. That shit's not going to work. If you want to listen to the podcast after this, I'm going to put the audio up. It's going to be on iTunes under
the Company Podcast.
All right, it's going to be on iTunes. It's going to be on Google Play Music
under Company.
Under Company, and as well as SoundCloud.
Under the Company Podcast.
Under the Company Podcast. And you can always rewatch it here on YouTube. If you want to search us, search for Company, you'll see us, and then just add us here on YouTube. Add us on those other things. Rate us. Hit us up. All of our what you call it? Twitter handles are on each of those outlets, and we are also on Podbean. Yep. If you need the Podbean, you can hit me up. I can give you the Podbean link. I hear thunder. Is this thing hitting tonight?
No.
Well, I think there's another there. Looking at, I know I said earlier I thought it was the rain squalls, but it looks like there's another thunderstorm that precedes this thing, and then the mother is gonna come. It's coming. So we dealing with the children right now.
It's like the mom pushing the baby out, like, go ahead now, go eat the llama. Anyway, we'll see y'all next week here. Monday, hopefully we're all able to use everything that we need to use as far as electricity and Wi-Fi to get to show up. And with that, I'd say thank you all for keeping us or letting us keep you company. Peace.